Welcome back, friends, to Watch Closely. It's a weekly show where we take a closer look at the world of movies, television, and what's streaming. I'm your host, Jason, and joining me, as always, a man who knows the greater the spy, the greater the lie. Ernie, how are you doing, man?
Hello. I'm doing great. Thank you for the introduction, dude. How are you?
I'm good. I hope I started it on time. I just thought about the reel, it might be a little too late, but I'm doing well. How's your week?
I'm doing great, man. It's been hectic. I was talking to you about this prior to the podcast, but for some reason I feel like weirdly just not in the best freaking mindset of things. I've been cloudy for whatever reason, but I'm excited to get into the podcast, dude. I feel like once I kind of start talking to you, everything kind of starts coming back. But man,
get into it. That's right.
Yeah, just got to get into it, dude. This is funny, but I forgot. I was telling you this for whatever reason. This comes easy to me. Just talking to you, talking movies, doing live stream. It's just kind of simple to me. But for whatever reason, I had to do a video for my class, an introduction of myself, and I had to read not a script, but basically, if there was points of things that I had to talk about. And I was reading it, dude, and I recorded that video, dude, I'm telling you, 10 times before I finished it. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? Why am I not, able to just say what I need to say? I don't know.
And I told you, just do it in one take. I was like, just force yourself to do it in one take. But because it's, an assignment, right, you get, self-conscious. And I know the feeling.
I guess so. And it's a little bit different, right? Because, these are my, the student peers and... Which is not, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe because they'll know me throughout the.
I want you to know. You should be confident, dude. You're good at this.
I know. No, thank you. I know. I do feel confident, but for whatever reason, just that assignment was just so strange to me. I always hate that, dude. I honestly, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I don't like this. Why do I have to introduce myself? We're in college.
Right.
You guys make your own friends in your own damn time. We don't. I'm sorry.
That's true. It's just part of life, bro. I had one of these one-on-ones with one of my coworkers today. I just started working, and he, everybody. He has to go and set up meetings with everybody, and he has to go around and do one-on-ones, and it's but I had a fun time. I was just, what do you want to talk about? I just made it super light and just, this is just part of life. You just gotta do these things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so hilarious, dude. I don't like that at all. Not a good one.
I don't like that at all. It's true. It's like applications, when you're applying for jobs. You're like, why? Just
why
know who I am.
You already know who I am here.
I mean,
you don't even know who I am. But yeah, dude, how are you? How was your week?
Throughout the land. I'm good, dude. I feel like this week has gone by so quick. I was telling you, I need one more day before the podcast so I could just absorb. So much stuff has happened, right, in the last week. We got all kinds of crazy. It's gonna be a good episode because we got Disney stuff, Gina Carano stuff. I think the stuff that has happened this week has just been probably more than we've had in quite a while. This is a bunch of critical news, I would say, and it's gonna be fun. We should definitely get into it. Any thoughts before we jump in?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about what you've been watching this past week, because I know, like you said, I know the week has been pretty hectic. But for me, dude, I've been. Yeah, we saw. I was about to say we actually got to see Argyle this week, or last week as of record. Right, we saw it on what is it? What did we see? Saturday?
It was Friday. We saw Friday night.
Oh, Friday. Yeah, we saw it Friday. It was the day it sort of, kind of dropped, I guess, because it drops Thursday now, but. So we saw that movie, which was a good movie. It's really, what's strange, and I was thinking about this, my little friend here, Jason. The way that they make this movie look kind of looks like Henry Cavill, or how do you say Cavill?
Henry Cavill, yeah.
Cavill, right? That he's going to be the face of the whole movie, right? And then that he's going to be the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's in the middle of the poster. I'm so glad that you brought that up. I literally was about to say that, and that is not what it is. It's like they threw you a curveball, and it's a lot different than what you expected. It's still a really fun movie. I still had fun. It does get ridiculous at times, but it's cool. I enjoyed it. Would I recommend you guys go see this in theaters? Probably not. Maybe wait for it Apple TV or whatever it's going to come on. but it was pretty good. I think they all did a great job, or at least all the cast that was in it.
Yeah, it was all over the place. I'll be honest. Like I thought I was gonna like it a lot more than I did. I felt like the opening was really good. I really enjoyed like that whole. I mean, it was when Henry Cavill was there. It was like dancing with Dua Lipa, and John Cena shows up and grabs her off the bike, and I was like, this is cool. This is pretty cool. And then they started doing like very. I think he was trying to go for lots of like cliche things that happen in like these noir like novella type books that you read. I think he was trying to do that, where it's like this happens, and then oh the twist, and then oh another twist, and it was all over the place for me. I would much rather have had it kind of more focused on like telling a straight story. I mean, I didn't mind it, but it got super goofy towards the end, right? Like the whole like there's one scene I would say that I was kind of rolling my eyes the whole time, and it involves some ice skates. I won't give anything else away, but that scene in particular, I was just like, what's going on? This
Oh
is
yeah,
off the
that's
rail.
true. I totally forgot about that until you brought that up. That is hilarious. I think that where I started thinking like, man, this is a little too much. I think was right in the beginning, the part you like. He's going down this like area in Greece where it's like this like looped around, but he goes straight through the middle of it, and he has his
Oh right,
car,
with the
and
with the
then
little mini car, yeah.
and they have the mini car, and then he starts grinding or whatever. And I remember thinking like,
Yeah,
oh
I
my
remember that.
gosh, like this looks like throughout that whole moment, it kind of feels like a Daniel Craig James Bond sort of movie. Like it feels like it's gonna head to that,
Kind
and I'm
of,
like, oh wow, okay. I wonder what they're gonna do, and
but
then I'm
really
like,
bad, like
eh,
over the top CG.
but
Yeah,
really bad over the top. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like movies in like like 1990s. You know what I mean? Like 1999. You know those kinds. That's what it
yeah.
reminded me of. I thought it was a little much. For the most part, though, I thought it was a good movie. Like it, I still definitely enjoyed it. I really liked the characters. I think it had its funny moments, but yeah, like I think a lot of those moments, like you said, that really like go over the top. Like kind of, you're like, man, this is ridiculous. Like my wife was next to me and she was dying. Like she was laughing. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous! Oh my
there's
gosh!"
some.
And she kept laughing about it. And I'm like, "Well, she's having fun, right?"
I remember, yeah, I remember looking over at her. She's just like, it's so hilarious that you have to laugh at it because it just went so extra in some of those scenes, and yeah, bro, it was funny. The I was trying to think of the one, the part at I don't want to give spoilers away, but uh, Samuel L. Jackson, he's like in everything, but he has probably the cushiest part in this whole movie, because he doesn't really
He
have to do much,
he
right?
doesn't really do much, right? I feel like he just showed up and they told
Right,
him say this and you're done.
but
And
he
then there's like
commits to it.
yeah, he comes
And,
to like and towards the there's this one cool scene with him, but there's like this one moment at the end of the movie where he's just sitting down, basically waiting for something, and all he's doing is watching
right,
sports.
he's watching
And
a Lakers game or something,
he's
right?
watching a yeah, I think it's a Lakers, and I was thinking like, what does this have to do with anything? Like why is it? But whatever. I mean,
Did you watch the music video for, was it Electric Fantasy? Which I it's a clever electric energy. Oh, energy. But I spelled it wrong. You guys don't judge me. I spelled it wrong. But there's a part where they cut to different people in the from the cast. Oh, it's here. I don't know if it'll play, but every time it cuts to Henry Cavill, he looks like he's in so much like agony, but he's trying to be like he's trying to perform. Uh, yeah, it's a catchy little song. And see, like everybody else is committing to singing the song. Look at Samuel L. Jackson. He's into it. He's got his hands raised, and then they'll cut to a part in where Henry Cavill
who
will
is
just be
that?
like,
Who's singing?
look at. He's having no fun. You could tell. Uh,
He's
who is
very
it? It's
straight
like
faced.
Boy
Catherine
George or
O'Hara.
somebody, and the girl who did the most recent Disney movie. She was the main
Oh,
character in Wish. I forget the
yeah, I
girl's
forget her
name.
name. Something DeBossy or something like that. Maybe Anna DeBossy or something like that. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Something like that. I forget. I kind
Andrea
of want to look that
DeBosi.
up.
But dude,
Andre
if you just go watch it,
the
like all the clips with
boys.
Henry Cavill, Like, see how everybody's just so animated,
Oh,
and then they
Ariana
try to
DeBose.
Ariana
DeBose.
DeBose,
Ariana
DeBose.
DeBose. DeBose, I say, but I mean, might be DeBose. Who knows? It's she's British. No wait, is she British? I don't know what she is. No, she's American. Never mind. So I don't
She
know.
might be. Oh, there's no more close to Henry because it's just like it's painful. It's painful. Oh, there he is. Look, he's not even singing. It's just a shot of him looking at the camera. It's like, when you get that assignment in school and you have to participate. Like everyone has to do it. He's just like, oh, fine. Okay, but we're not neither here nor there. That was a fun review of Argyle. I think people will probably like it, right? If you like that kind of like crazy spy
I,
thriller.
I
I
think
thought
I think I think this is a fun movie to stream. Like this is definitely a streaming movie. You know how we
it
always
was
talk
it
about
was
like,
probably made
oh,
for streaming, right? Like
yeah, it
it's
definitely was. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with like when we say that. It's not like, oh, we're saying that like in a negative connotation. There's some great streaming movies out there, but there's something about this movie that just felt like it would have been great to be at home. Don't get me wrong. I loved it on the big screen, but it just felt like it would be a good stay at home movie.
Yeah, and I know like Apple. It's an Apple movie, right? Like it says Apple
It
TV. I
is,
think
yeah.
they're gonna lose quite a bit of money because it didn't do very well at the box office. But it's Apple, right? They're not gonna care. They're just gonna throw it on their Apple TV, and it's gonna be part of their library. I think they can take a couple L's. They're huge. They're Apple. They got the Vision Pro now. They got those the people walking around with
Yeah,
scuba
dude, that
masks.
thing is ridiculous. That is wild. I saw some guy
They,
was like driving or whatever,
oh, in
and
the
I
in the
think
Cybertruck, right? Did you see that
no,
one?
he was just driving like in a random car. I think he's like a chubby guy, and he's like driving in the car, and he's like doing whatever. And he's like, no, I could do more stuff while I'm driving or whatever. And then I think the cops pull him over, and then
Oh yeah.
someone had like I don't know quote tweeted it, and they're like, now I really understand the full advantages of the Pro or whatever what's it called, the Vision Pro.
The Vision Pro, yeah.
Yeah, the Vision Pro, and it, like they they Photoshop someone with a beer and like basically doing all the bad stuff you shouldn't be doing while driving, and it
Oh my
just
god.
it's ridiculous. It's really funny though, just like
It's crazy to
having
me how Apple has made it so easy to like get on a train or just walk around in public in this ridiculous like scuba goggle thing, like ski goggles. Like they have the magic power to make it okay, and everything else. Like if Google came out with one, then people would be like, "Ah, it looks ridiculous." But for some reason, because it's Apple, it cracks me up. But are you gonna get one? You gonna save up?
no, it's $3 grand. I was talking to one of my buddies, and we're like both kind of we all decided, and we're like we're just gonna wait
You're
for
gonna
like the best iteration of it. Like once it gets to the 10th gen or whatever, or like third generation or something, it's gonna be like a lot
way
simpler to like
smaller. Yeah, yeah.
way smaller, a lot sleeker design, and it's gonna be like not as expensive. Like this is $3 grand of technology in your head.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I saw people on the subway in New York having this and messing with it. I think there's a picture right there, but there was one particular guy, and people were quote tweeting, and they're like, using this in New York, dude, you're gonna get beat up and stolen. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
Right. Like who's not gonna just like try and rob it or rob you of it?
But you can't really steal it because you could find it. It's trackable, right? Or am I? I mean, most Apple
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
is
sure it's like
trackable.
the Apple Watch or something where you can ping it and like you can track it.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure it's got to be something like that. But I was gonna say like somebody made a good point. I was watching some of the reviews and said this is the worst version of the Apple Vision Pro that will ever be made, right? Because it's gonna have to get better every time, right? So this is like the
yeah,
the first gen. So they always say don't buy a first gen, right? They always say wait for a second gen, like they'll start ironing out all the bugs. But it's true. Like it's gonna get smaller, it's gonna get thinner. Maybe they'll get all the weird quirks will get ironed out. I think that's why Apple put it out probably to get a lot of feedback. Um, but so far, everybody who's worn it says it's crazy. It's like super life changing as far as like the technology feels like it's very advanced. So
yeah. No, I
we'll
saw this
see.
guy. I think the one that really would have like sold me on it. Let's say I had that extra $3 grand. I was like throwing money at Apple, or I could throw it anywhere. I was throwing ass everywhere, dude, all over the place.
Ah.
I would get it because of this particular moment. I saw this lady. I think I might have sent it to you, but I'm not sure. she's basically cooking. She's like cooking a meal, and she's cutting up or whatever, and she's watching a tutorial of what she needs to be doing to make that particular like food that she's trying to make, and it's telling her how much she needs to measure out and everything. Like everything is
Oh
right
yeah,
in it, and I was like, dude, holy cow, that's the future. That's like what I would love to see. And like I feel like with Apple's thing, it's like most of the stuff that they've kind of like showed you is not that. Like those
yeah.
day to day things that they should try to sell you on a lot more. Like that guy
Dude,
right there on the bottom left corner. He's like the skateboard. I forget his name.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like he's always doing things. What were you gonna say, Jay? Sorry.
I was just gonna say the AR. People were saying like the AR experience was not that impressive, right? Like they were saying that most of the like that little cooking thing you said was one of the few things that you could do actually. I think I'm muted, bro. I can't believe myself. Can you hear me? I was gonna say that the 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 AR part of it was very limited as far as what they were experiencing was a lot of VR stuff where you're completely surrounded and couldn't really see the world around you. I think you're right. Like the little moments where like you're saying like cooking or um, you know things like around the house, you could put like reminders on the doors or whatever like as you're walking through. I mean, you could just do it all in real life, but that it's always with you, I guess, if you have those
Yeah,
things.
I think the one thing that I thought this was kind of cool that I saw this guy. He just, I mean, I get it. Like maybe pay attention to your kid, but there was one where it was a guy and he's like, this is helping me out so much because when I had my daughter, she would sleep in my arms for a certain amount of time, and then I would just be watching either TV or nothing and just staring into the abyss, right? And I guess this guy had
Oh,
the
that would be a
Vision
good.
Pros, and he was
Yeah.
watching stuff while he had his baby, and then people were like, they're like, oh, what should I? We're like, look at all what I could do. And they're like, well, I don't know, maybe pay attention to your kid, like, you're watching the life go away because it's true. Like, you don't want to like miss moments of being with that kid, but also like when that kid is sleeping, you're kind of bored. Like you got to do something. Like you're just sitting on your butt for like
Because you can't move
hours.
your arms, right? You're trying to like keep them
No,
comfortable, and yeah, that I can
basically,
see. I can see the use for that. The thing I'm really curious about, I know we're getting on a little sidetrack, but like,
hey, what are you, a tech channel? I'm just kidding.
I no, I was gonna say that the when when people have them together in the same room, I think that's where it will be interesting, right? Like so far, it's a very singular experience
Why
where you're
can't you
just
just
like,
take them off and be together in
yeah,
person,
I
Jason?
know, but like, how can I see what you're seeing? That's what I want, right? Like,
Okay, I see what you're saying, but like, it just
you're
sounds
like,
like
can't you just take your
it's
thing
like
off?
I just want to imagine, us all together, surrounded by what's it, like a fire pit, sharing stories with these goggles on. Like,
That's like the
I mean,
Simpsons episode, yeah, where
yeah,
the
yeah, like
Marge and Homer are
yeah,
laying in the bed together and they're like texting each other. Yeah, that's
so
exactly what it
fun.
is. But
That's
I
the
mean, like
future,
when
dude.
one of the things when we were playing with the Oculus, right? Like it was if you have two Oculus at the same time, it's just a singular experience. You can't see what the other person's seeing. So if
Oh, I
you're
see. Yeah, yeah.
in the middle of like a cool game and you want to have someone jump in and like help you out, like that to me seems like the future, right? Like that would be really cool, where
Yeah,
I can
I
just step into whatever world you're in.
I want to say one of the there was a company. Now it's a pretty big company. I think you might have heard of it. It's called Google. But I'm just kidding. They used to have this thing, and I forget what it's called. It was like a streaming service for video games, right? And what they would do is they would essentially allow you to watch someone play the game. Oh, Stadia. Thank you.
I
Stadia is
spell
with
it
a
wrong.
D, I believe.
Stadia.
Yeah, Stadia. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you remembered what that was. So Stadia, when that was a thing, you were able to watch a video, and they weren't the first people to think of this, but you were able to watch a YouTube video of someone and then jump in exactly where they were, like to help them out or to.
Oh,
It was really cool, and it was seamless the way they made it seem.
see,
Obviously,
that would be cool.
see, but that's like technology that was a little too advanced for what they like. That's what they wanted to do, but I don't think it worked because their ecosystem just wasn't as friendly because everyone's network was so different. Like it was pretty like it's just terrible. So it kind of it didn't work. I was a tester for Stadia for when it
Oh,
first
really?
came out. Yeah, I tried it out on a really crappy laptop just to see how it would work, and it worked really well. I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey um, during the
Very
time of.
cool. All right, we got to get into the news, guys, because we have a lot of news to cover. I want to go through real quick just the numbers, just to see. Obviously, Argyle took the number one spot this week. They made $17 million. Not the greatest, but then interestingly enough, The Chosen season 4 was the number two spot this weekend. And actually, let me go to the weekly, just to make sure. The weekly. Okay, so Argyle came out last Friday. Oh, it's not good. Wait, and Argyle's not even on here. Never mind. Let's go back to the weekend chart. Yeah, this is probably the most accurate because the last week didn't include Argyle. So Beekeeper's at number 3, Wonka's at number 4, Migration's at number 5. Mean Girls has fallen all the way down to number 6. Wasn't it like the top last
Yeah,
week? It
for the
was
past
top.
two
It was number
weeks,
1.
yeah. Past two
Wow.
weeks, it was the top, yeah. Finally went down. And we were talking about that, too. Would Argyle take it down? And I guess it did.
And it has, yes. It's crazy to me that The Chosen is like a TV show that's just playing in theaters. Like they're just like, we're gonna release the first 3 episodes. You can watch them on the big screen, and it's number 2.
Isn't The Chosen season 4 when he's the adult Jesus Christ? And I might be mistaken. I haven't seen The Chosen. It's like a show that I really freaking want to watch. It looks awesome. But I'm not. I don't remember. I remember I was telling you like maybe it was last year where they're showing you like the parts of Jesus Christ where he's like, it's going to the crucifixion or whatever. Is that
Yeah,
this season?
I think that's. I think you're probably right. Yeah, I think it's more of like in the like he's now older, right? He's in the life of Christ. Like we're kind of going through that whole
Yeah, dude.
section of his life.
It
It
looks
looks cool.
freaking so cool. Like it looks really neat. I don't know if you guys are, you like that kind of stuff, but I mean, I like it. I enjoy it.
And then so Anyone But You still hanging on number 7, and you still gotta watch that movie. It's not
I
gonna come
do.
out
Did you
on
end up
streaming
watching
until you
it?
see it. No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, I thought you might
Every
have seen
time,
it already.
every
Because
time
I
you see
feel
an ad, though, you're like, let's go.
I feel. I mean, I really want to see it, but not having a list anymore, it kind of feels like I have to be a lot more choosy with what I go watch. But I feel like, I feel like that movie's gonna come out soon. It has to. It's like
I
Sony's
mean,
got to
eventually it
know
has
that
to.
it's not gonna make a lot
But
of
look,
money
it's still
staying
number
on there.
7. Sony's like,
That's true.
we can just leave it in the theater for as long as it's making money, dude. Like
Yeah,
honestly.
that's true.
Um, I did see though number 8 is American Fiction. I did watch that one, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's the one where he's a writer, and he's trying to be a successful writer, and he goes to one of those conferences where there's a black lady. She wrote a book that's catered to like mainstream audiences because he's a black writer that's trying to just write good stories, right? And she's playing to the audience basically, and he's like, "Fine, I'm just gonna write." Have you seen the trailer? He's like, "I'm just gonna write a super like stereotypical black story," and it ends up taking off, and they want like a movie deal, and like it's
Wow,
crazy,
no,
man.
I haven't seen that. That sounds fun. That sounds like a straight up streaming movie.
I mean, yeah, I think you can rent it. You can rent it now. I think it's probably worth waiting for streaming if you're not like clamoring to watch it. But I thought it
Yeah,
was decent. But
yeah. You watched it?
yeah, we watched it.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what it bothers me that you're not really mentioning here is that Night Swim is holding up, dude, at number 11. What's up, dude? And you said it'll never make its money back, dude. It's
It'll
there, dude.
never make it. What is it right now? 28 million. Come on now, woo! It's made
Let's
its
go,
money
dude.
back. Let's go. I didn't see it in the top 10. My wife actually watched. We watched Aquaman: Lost Kingdom because it's you can watch it now. It's still holding on at number 10. Made 120 million. She really liked it. I thought she wasn't gonna be down for it because she didn't watch it with us. Did I tell you this last week? No, I think she watched it this
No, I
week.
think you told me that like 2 weeks ago or something that you wanted to watch it. She wanted to watch it in theaters, and I was like, oh man, I forgot she didn't actually go watch it, which is
Yeah, but
sucks.
she
But
she enjoyed it. She was like, "This is a solid little movie." I agree. I think it's doing well overseas. So someone said that it's the highest grossing movie of the WB like the Snyderverse since, was it like Man of
The
Steel
first
or something?
Aquaman, no?
Or
Oh,
maybe the first Aquaman. Well,
because I
since
think the first Aquaman did really
yeah,
well.
because the Flash, Blue Beetle, Black Adam, like all of those made less than this. So I mean, it's, you know, it's making good money for being the last of the Snyderverse. It's crazy.
Jason, this is random, but double check your microphone, see where you're recording from, because it sounds like you're on those freaking Apple AirPods, and I mean you sound sweet, but then you move, and then it starts going, and it sounds like I'm there with you, and I think it's what's happening, isn't it? I don't know. He froze. Look at his face. He's just like smiling.
It's better now, right?
Okay, this is
It's
way better. I had a feeling.
Oh well, that's all right.
That's all right. Hey, well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, friends of the cast here. Everybody makes a mistake. Everybody has those days. You know who said that, Jace?
Who said that?
Hannah Montana. What's up?
Hannah Montana. I never even thought. All right, guys, let's get into the news this week. Ernie, let's start off with Gina Carano because we got to.
Yeah, dude, this is wild, man. Well, I mean, I don't know how much you know about this. Do you kind of want to get into it, Jace, or?
Oh, you can go. I'll fill in if I have any sort of.
I mean, there's nothing crazy. I'm not gonna go through everything because we really don't need to know everything. But there's what'd you say?
I said, do it. Go through everything.
I will. So Gina Carano, known for her role in The Mandalorian, The Mandalorian is suing Disney and Lucasfilm, claiming wrongful termination, and she's being supported by Elon Musk in this endeavor. So during COVID-19 in 2020, she had said a controversial statement about Republicans treating Jews or us like Jews in the Holocaust or something like that during the COVID stuff. I'm not saying it's true or not, but that's basically what she had said, and she had tweeted that out. And after that happened, apparently Disney is like, no, you can't be saying stuff like that. Kind of like what happened to what's her face from Scream? I forget her name, but oh man, what's her
Jenna
name?
Ortega's friend.
Friend of Jenna Ortega, dude. That's how you're supposed to say it.
What's her name?
Friend of Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
I'm gonna start calling the friends of the cast here friends of Jenna Ortega. But yeah, so basically, the same thing happened. She got
Melissa Barrera. Sorry, that's what it was.
Okay,
Melissa
thank
Barrera.
you very much. And so basically, she's in a lawsuit dispute with Disney right now. Apparently, the lawsuit I think is seeking about $75,000, and she wants to be contracted back into Disney after the fact for whatever reason. I had seen a speculation that she had the time to delete the tweet and retract her statement, but she did not, so they ended up firing her because of the reason. But Jace,
there was a couple other things too, wasn't there? Like, didn't they want her to put her pronouns in the bio for her Twitter, and she's like, I don't need to do that. Like, why would I do that? And like a couple other things, but
I didn't even know that. So they wrote that in the contract. Like, you need to have pronouns. What if you don't have any?
No, that's what they were saying. Like, you need to do this because you're working for us. Like, we require you to put the pronouns in. And
interesting.
She was like, why? She's like, I should be like, as a person, I should have freedom to say, you know, my thoughts on the internet. And Disney's like, no, you have to, you know, follow our rules or you get kicked out. And that's basically what happened. Even though a lot of people were saying that Pedro Pascal, right, he's been very like leaning hard left. Like he often tweets things that are left basing, and like it's weird that we even have to worry about what an actor is saying. It and like I can understand if it's like something that's like, I don't like Disney, like the thing that what's her face did for Snow White.
Weird, Rachel Zegler.
Weird. Yeah, that girl. What's her name? You're good at
Rachel
that.
Zegler.
Rachel Zegler. Because
I said it, but I thought you wanted to hurt me. Good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Rachel Zegler was basically talking bad about Snow White, right? It was the actual like previous movie of Disney, and I was like, that's like pretty bad because you're someone who is representing the brand, right? And then you're going off and like saying, I didn't really like that last one that they did. So I could understand that. I can understand Disney being mad about that. But the thing with Gina Carano, I feel like she probably has a case because she was just voicing her opinion on, you know, the things that were going on in the world. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think she was going overboard, or do you think she should have complied, or like?
See, that's the thing. Is I mean, everyone. Opinions are like buttholes, dude. Everyone has one, right?
That's true.
And
That's
you know
true.
whether you agree with it or not, that is out of that is on you. You know what I mean? Like not like obviously we do this podcast and you guys don't agree with most of the things we say. That's a given. I don't agree with everything Jason says. I
That's
don't
true.
know
That's
what.
true.
See, I saw the thing about the Jewish thing in her tweet. It didn't sound to me like it was like she was going for like against a particular person or something like that. It was more like I feel like I'm mistreated in the manner like of this. Maybe it was a little too far fetched because I mean the people in Auschwitz suffered worse than what we did during COVID. You know what I mean? Like that is not. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like that's not what we did not suffer like that. Probably mentally, yes, in a different, but not in the same light that day. That was worse, right? That is stupid to compare it, obviously, but also like, oh, this is what she said. What did she say? Can you read it out?
She says Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by children. And then she quotes, "Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that they get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews. The government first made their own neighbors hate. The government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews, and now, how is this any different from hating someone for political views?" So I mean,
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was. I thought she. So I don't even remember, but I thought she had said that she was felt like a Jew during Auschwitz during COVID is what I remember. But I'm glad you brought this up because I mean this is
oh, it's
true.
huge.
This is truth. This is the truth. Like people were there was man I forget in world I mean sorry during this time of Nazis and stuff there was a particular group of Jewish people that were like the police, and I think they were called the Gestapo, but I might be mistaken. I'm sorry, but they basically are, Jewish people who are rounding up Jewish people to go like live in these terrible areas, take all their money, destroy their belongings. This is true. This is history. That is very true. I get what she's saying here, but again, I don't have any political views. I don't care. But for Disney to fire her for something like that, I mean, again, not everyone's gonna have the same political views. I know you said Pedro Pascal is a leftist. Remember he did that video that everyone hated, where it's like, "Imagine all the people"
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say because I have no horse in this race. I'm not political in any really in my agendas usually, but like I feel like is she gonna have a case? Like is it like I don't know. Like it feels like maybe more so now because of the cancel culture and all that stuff, and it ruined her career. Like she could basically go after them for like what is it called when you attack someone's career? I know a lot of
Canceling it?
YouTube. No, but there's
Or
a thing that YouTubers do. Like if you go on YouTube and you try to like mess with someone's work, like you start talking crap about them, they could sue you for it. And it's called like something, I forget. But I don't know. I'll look it up right now. But what do you think? What do you think she has a
I think she does have a case because I feel like I don't think what they're claiming was actually like accurate. Like they were saying, oh, she was what were they saying? They're saying like she was being very like harassing, bullying, very discriminatory. I don't feel like those tweets were necessarily that. Um I I think she could possibly have a case, and obviously Elon thinks because they must have receipts, right? They must have some sort of receipts that Disney sent to her that was basically like, here's why we're firing you. And she can compare those to the actual tweets and be like, no, like this is actually not what those tweets mean. So I think in that case, she could have a good point. And I think it's crazy because we had that whole situation where Elon Musk was like calling out Disney, like how he's saying like basically they're being evil, right? I forget the actual words, but he's go F yourself, right? Like, you think you can scare me with money by pulling the ads off of Twitter, and he's like, go F yourself. So he's like,
Oh, that's right.
he has a little bit of an agenda, right? I think he sent out some sort of press release or something saying if there's been any sort of canceling of your careers or any sort of things that have happened that's because of a tweet, like, you could have a case. And like, he was actually offering his services, like he would offer like legal services. I don't know if you saw this.
I did see this, which is this is why she's doing it with Elon Musk.
Right. So she I think she said, I think I do, right? Didn't she tweet at him? She's like, I think I do. And then a bunch of people responded, and then one of his like lawyers called her up and was like, hey, we might have a case here. And so I think they've been talking, and
it's gonna be interesting, dude. I want to definitely look more into this, but I want to say this before you continue. Sorry. So what I was talking about was defamation of character. It basically defamation of character. Yeah, it's basically you're able to sue someone for basically saying something about you that isn't true and or is probably not correct in any way or something like that, and you could sue them for that because they're basically like you're losing money. Usually a lot of YouTubers do this. What's that lady that did a little guitar? She had again, this is all speculation. I don't know if it's true.
Oh yeah.
But she was she was basically, supposedly she was grooming kids or something like that. I forget what it was. Some sort of like really bad stuff. And
my wife would remember her name. I forget her name.
I know, my wife would as well. But she did so the smart thing this lady did, right? Because everyone was talking about her. She ended up making a YouTube video, and she made a song about what she was talking about. She's like, ding a ding a ding. It's like, a lot of you hate me right now. Ding a ding a ding. And she talked about what happened or whatever. People used that video and basically all got demonetized. And she was able to get away from, and then she was able to make money off of it because she made that song like her own. Like she like.
Right. She basically copyrighted it.
Yeah, which is, it's so crazy. What a move. And no one talks about things like this. There's so much stuff that like.
It was Colleen. Her name is Colleen.
Oh, Colleen. Yeah.
Colleen Wallinger. I forget what her alter ego is. Like she has the lipstick.
There she is with the little guitar, dude. Oh my god.
I forget what her alter ego is.
That's so crazy.
Oh, Miranda sings. That's what.
That's so awesome, dude. That is so crazy.
So funny. Defamation of so I feel like that's pretty much what they did with Gina Carano, right? Like she lost
exactly
her like, it was a pretty successul couple of seasons on The Mandalorian, and then they just dropped her. Like, they just canceled her contract for reasons, but like out of the blue. They didn't continue her character, and then I think as a result she ended up not getting certain movie deals or like certain things that she had already had lined up. Like, she was going to be a guest on a show, on another Disney Plus show, and they just cut her for no reason. And so, I mean, I do think she might have a legitimate case for the way that Disney went about it. It's so funny, dude. Did you read the actual case that they submitted, like, to the courts?
I did not.
If you read it, it's a freaking Star Wars in a short time ago in a galaxy not too far away. Like, this is the actual thing they sent to the courts. The defendant made it clear that, like, if you read through it, it's like talking about how Disney is basically like the dark side, like the
wow, it just sounds like such a skit.
It's just crazy, bro. Like, it's just funny that way. I personally think it would be kind of cool if she wins, because that would force Disney to take some sort of accountability as far as, like, you know, she's basically calling out that because she wasn't lined up with their message, like their agenda, right? Like, that she wasn't pushing what their values were, that she was basically fired because of that. And I think we're getting a little tired of it, right? I think a lot of people didn't go see Wish because they were worried, like, you know, how's this going to play to my kids? You said you liked it, but a lot of people were hesitant.
It's okay. I want to ask
Yeah,
you a
I
question,
feel like,
Jace. 'Cause
okay.
maybe you're a lot well versed in this than I am. Um, so I assume, I'm not a big political guy, but I'm assuming Disney is like left or left whatever, right? A little bit more than right wingers. That's kind of like what the gist of what I'm getting here. So like if you go against what they're saying, that's why, like politically, or am I wrong?
I think Disney's. I don't know if it's left necessarily. It's pushing what they call the DEI, right? The not just what does DEI stand for? Somebody keeps bringing up stands for. I apologize, I don't have it. Diversity, equality, and inclusion, right? That's what they push. So it's like,
okay.
It goes back to the Oscar thing, right? Where we hire you because of your qualities as on the outside, right? It's not necessarily
If you're right
whether
for
or
the
not
job,
you're really
basically.
good at your job. Yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
I think that's what they're pushing a lot, and I think that's what a lot of people are pushing back against. I think a lot of people are realizing, hey, we want to just have good stories. We want to just have good movies, and I feel like the quality has been suffering because they're solely focused on checking the boxes and not solely focused on, getting the good stories. And I think this leads into our next topic, because Disney had their stakeholder meeting, and it's funny because this whole thing was announced with Gina Carano like the day before the stakeholder meeting, and they were pretty much saying, they're bringing it up now so that the stakeholders could be like, could you address this? Because it was a big deal, right? But I wanted to go through basically what Bobby Iger's plan is, because I think they realize that, like, obviously, people, I think you have it in the notes that Disney Plus numbers have gone way down.
Yeah, it dropped pretty significantly recently. I think
How
in the
much was it?
last call. I can't. Let me pull it up because it's not on the notes. We were talking about it on Twitter. We usually share a lot of the things that kind of go on in the world. But I sent
I
you.
thought you had it in the notes.
No, not in
Sorry.
this one. No, you're fine. I didn't add it because I didn't think it was going to pertain to anything, and then he brought it into. So it does pertain. So I should have. It lost 1.3 million subscribers in Q4 of 2023. Now I wanted to ask you this because, it lost that. Could it have been also because the price increases and all that, because it was a spike, right? It went up.
That has a lot to do with it too. I think a lot of the streaming prices. But you know what the thing is? I was thinking about this too. If you have, I think it's Verizon, or it might be T-Mobile. If you have a Verizon phone, you get Disney Plus for free, I believe. It's like
I have a Verizon thing. You do not get that for free. You got to pay for it.
Wait. Is Disney Plus?
I don't think it's free. I mean, I know that there's like a thing you can add it to your plan, and it'll be like $5 or whatever.
Is it maybe it's Spectrum or something? Somebody gives it to you for free, just for having their service. Could be Spectrum, but anyway, like that. I'm wondering if that has. Oh yeah, see, Spectrum gives you Disney Plus Basic for free if you activate. It's a subscription at no extra cost. So if you have Spectrum like TV, or if you have Spectrum Internet, they give you Disney Plus. So that boosts numbers right there. So if you're not paying, like technically paying for it, then maybe that means people are just like canceling, like they're just not finding anything good on the service. Or
Yeah.
I imagine like kids mostly use Disney Plus for like the classics, right? Like they go back and they watch, the Little Mermaids and the Beauty and the Beasts and the old, like the stuff we love, right? And it's funny because the stakeholder call, basically what happened was Bob Iger announced a bunch of sequels. Like all of it is familiar IP. Like Moana 2 got released like out of nowhere. Did you hear about, like, basically what happened was they need a movie to come out in November, and they were already working on this Disney Plus show for Moana. It was like going to be a show.
Yeah, so they changed it to a movie.
And Bob Iger's like, we need a tentpole movie. Like let's cut this down into a feature film.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is crazy. And then they ended up spending, I'm sure, like a ton of money on the Taylor Swift movie. Like the Era Tour is going to come. And then, yeah, dude. all the other movies that are coming out are just gonna be, oh, they renewed Percy Jackson, which I never did. You watch Percy Jackson? I heard okay
No,
things.
I heard it was really good. One of my buddies was telling me that it actually stays pretty true to the original source material.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I might check it out. I heard people say it wasn't too bad. But see, here they announced Zootopia 2 is gonna come November 25th, 2025. Sorry, 26th, 2025. Toy Story 5 is gonna come in 2026. Frozen 3 also is 2026, and then the Mandalorian and Grogu is gonna come 2026. And that's all. Like I think Iger even admitted that because there's no it's a cheaper, it's an easier win, right? It's familiar IP. They're gonna push like quality sequels, which is crazy to me. Like that's just where the money is right now, and he's trying to like right the ship, right, so to speak. So get ready for a bunch of sequels. It's gonna be coming. What do you think? Are you fine with it? Like, are you like I like Toy Story. I like Zootopia.
I mean, I do love all this stuff, but it's just like at some point it just kind of like, let me get something new. But also like proof is in the pudding, like you said, it makes money. We just got a movie Wish. That was a new Disney movie, and it was not very good. It was okay. Like I enjoyed it. My daughter loved it, but I thought it was an okay movie. Elementals was okay as well. Like it wasn't a movie that
I
I go
liked
back.
Elemental.
I did too. It's just not a movie that I go back to watch. Like
Mm.
I've been watching Zootopia for the past week. Like I
Yeah,
love that movie. Like I've been watching it recently. It's a great movie.
Zootopia's good.
We're watching Toy Story as well. We're watching Frozen 1 and 2. Like again, like these movies are far better than what we're getting now. It's I don't know what it is. I always blame, oh, it's the writing, but it's not. It's not always the writing. It's got to do a lot with the direction, most likely. There's a bunch of stuff that really boils down to why something's not working. But like, I
Yeah.
mean, this is the thing, Jace. We're gonna get this from Disney. Okay, that's fine. There's other places that have more movies and other stuff that you can watch that's probably brand new. You know what I mean?
True.
Like there isn't like we don't have to just stick with Disney. Just Disney is the big sort of news for movies and television for the most part because that's our childhood. That's like most people's childhood. So we like we watch it closely. Ah, you see what I did
Nah.
there?
That's true. The thing that I'm worried about, and this actually leads into one of the other announcements, which I wanted to talk about, which was Fortnite, bro. So
Fortnite.
what they announced that Disney is basically investing 1.5 billion into Epic Games, which means they have a equity stake in Epic Games right now. And I told you, it was like, I'm actually not as excited as you think I would be. And the reason why is because
I have
the
a
track
speculation
record,
too.
the track record up until this point, right? Like they basically kind of run Star Wars into the ground. They've done the same thing with like Indiana Jones. Like I didn't like the last one. It's kind of a sad movie. And then Marvel, right? Like Marvel, like you could say, you know, some of it's been good, some of it's been hit. It's been hit or miss. Like I really like Loki. I thought the last season of Loki was pretty good. The Marvels was just okay. So I'm worried that they're gonna take Fortnite, which I love. Like you know, I love playing Fortnite, and I just don't want it to be like overrun with. Like I don't want Disney to take it. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's like it's been on such a high. Like Fortnite's been succeeding for so long. Like eventually it has to come back down, right? Something has to replace it, right? Eventually, like I mean, I'm worried that the acquisition of or the stake in Disney, like eventually Disney will just like buy Epic Games, like they'll get their foot in the door, and then eventually they'll just like acquire the whole thing, and then it won't be as fun as it was. And that's my worry. I don't want them to run it into the ground like they did like Star Wars or Marvel. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, so my speculation here. So I don't think they're gonna buy it. The majority shareholder for Epic Games is Tencent. They own like 40%. Disney just bought 10%. I think also Sony owns 10% as well, if I'm not mistaken. This is not for them to put Disney into Fortnite and just like suck the life out of it with Disney. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're going to do it, but that's not what this is. This is more so for them to use Unreal Engine for their movies, right? So if you watch the first season of Mandalorian, the backgrounds are using Unreal Engine. So everything in the background, all the movies and stuff or those shows that they shot are using
and the volume,
that.
right?
And exactly. So when they and the noises, all that stuff. So them having a 10%, they don't always have to pay a certain amount to use those features and those things. And I think that's why they did this. This is more of a business move than it is sort of an acquisition in any way, because they're not going to buy it from Tencent, that Chinese conglomerate. They own like so many video games and all kinds of stuff. So that's basically what it is.
That's a good point, dude. I didn't even think about that.
Thank you. I've thought about this for quite some time. I'm an
were you worried at first
sometimes.
though, or were you just like, nah?
No, I was excited. I mean, getting stuff from Disney into Fortnite is awesome. I mean, we've gotten some really great Star Wars stuff, and I was like, my first reaction was like, maybe we can get freaking lightsabers as pickaxes, which is really ridiculous to say. It's really dumb, but it's like they're doing it right now with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, right? Like they just dropped the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles things, and this essentially is a way for them to get more Disney stuff on here without it going through a lot of loopholes in terms of like, oh, we gotta call freaking Bobby I and say like, hey, is it okay if we use this? Like, they kind of just come to this contractual agreement that they're able to use it, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna build and I don't know if you ever played this game. Let me look it up real quick. It's called Disney. Let me look it up real quick. But Disney Dreamlight Valley. You're basically in a world. You're basically in this world, and you're going through all these little characters or whatever, and you basically do a bunch of little side missions. It's really a great game. I haven't played it, but I've heard people enjoy it, and I think that's what they're gonna do in Fortnite. They're gonna build different islands, just like you see in the video. There's gonna be the Marble, the Big Hero 6, whatever, and then they're all gonna you are gonna go in with your character, like sort of Ready Player One, is what I'm thinking they're trying to do, and it's just to give you brand recognition. So when you land there, you're like, oh, there's Hercules. I'm gonna go watch the movie. You know what I mean? Like like stuff like that is my speculation.
I think you're right. It is a strategic move. I think the other thing to think about is they are pretty deep into the Apple Vision Pro, right? Like they had a whole, I don't know if you remember that like some of the demos that they were doing was you would actually go into like Avatar World or something and watch the movie. And
that's right.
Or you'd be in Stark Tower.
You can connect your hair to the freaking creature.
Yeah, you can connect your hair. So like I feel like this could be right. Like I'm sure they have plans to create a bunch of worlds, kind of like that, almost like Wreck-It Ralph, the second one, like the actual Wreck-It Ralph movie. But dude, I just wanted to call out some of the things, like kind of the Easter eggs in this shot, because obviously you do have like a Wreck-It Ralph, and then you have like the Cars Land. I think this is Stark Tower. You have a bunch of like Star Wars things. Isn't this like Stitch's ship? I think that's from Lilo and Stitch, like his little.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah.
And I think
they have the
Neverland.
Disney Cruise Line right there. You see the Disney Cruise Line.
I know. I was like, that's pretty
ESPN,
odd.
Lucasfilms.
That's probably like some Zootopia. The castle looks. This looks like a whole like shopping center, doesn't it? Kind of like.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're gonna be able to go through here and start buying a bunch of. Yeah, which is sad but I mean, again, you vote with your wallet. You pay for it with your own money. Like if you don't like it, don't do it, right? But that's my assumption. I'm more interested for like us to get some cool skins in the game.
I think this was a super rushed image, to be honest with you. I feel like they were just like, we have to announce it, like come up with something, right? Just throw a bunch of stuff in there. I don't think this is actually how it's going to be like at the end of the day. Was that the Mickey? That's the Mickey and Walt Disney from the beginning.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think this is like Avatar Land, maybe, over like they're gonna have like the floating islands. This is definitely like the Death Star, right? This has to be the Death Star at the corner with the Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that's the Hoth system right there next to it.
Yeah. What is this? Is this Tron Land? What is this? I hope they make a Tron world. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, we have the characters of Tron in Fortnite skins, so possibly,
That's true.
right?
The thing that this is kind of weird with the moon, of the Nightmare Before Christmas moon. It's like, how does that work? It's just a floating moon for that.
It's going to be a floating moon for that spot, yeah.
But I don't know. It could be fun. I'm sure like they're going to throw, oh, that's monsters. Oh, there's monsters in Okay. They're going to sell us on the nostalgia for sure, bro.
I mean, yeah, they have like years of it. Like the one thing I was tripping out on, you see on the top right above the Marvel sign?
This guy?
You see the cloud. You see like it looks like it has eyes and a mouth. Is that like something?
Oh.
Am I tripping, or is it just a cloud that looks weird like that?
Is that from? Wait. Oh shoot.
The Watcher.
I lost it. Is it the Watcher? Is it from Guardians? What is that planet? That's like a head. Sorry, I lost the image over there. Is that the head? I'm gonna try and go back. Is it? I can't tell. You remember in Guardians? It's like the nowhere. What's it called?
Oh, that's right. The nowhere ship, yeah, or the planet or whatever.
Yeah, and then
it's
they
called
use
Nowhere,
the planet
yeah.
to smash it into a spoiler at the end of the third Guardians. Like they actually.
Hey, whoa!
Oh,
hold your horses, man.
I really hope this is Tron Land, bro. This would be so cool if it's like a whole land for Tron. What is this? Is this like Zootopia? What is this? I don't know what this is.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like the
Oh, this is
Shakira.
like a pirate ship for sure.
I think
Yeah,
that
dude.
might. It looks kind of like what's that movie? Not Elementals. Inside Out.
Oh, yeah, it could be, right? Like the parts of the brain where you have like your happy place and then maybe, yeah. This has to be Tortuga, right? Like this has to be like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it definitely has to be that.
Which leads into our next comment.
No, wait, sorry. I know before you
No,
move
go
on.
ahead.
My apologies, my little
No,
friend here, and I do mean you're my friend. Yes, just kidding. We are.
Yeah.
He's all you know the direct. He goes.
It's
You know
official.
who I am. You know who I am. Yes. You know, like
yeah. You know,
there was this. There was a video game when I don't know, years ago, and it was a Disney game called Disney Infinity. Do you recall this game at all? We went to
Disney
E3
Infinity.
once and we got little figurines. They basically was a version of a game, like it was basically a Nintendo amiibo, like the little Mario characters and all that stuff. And you would basically buy these packs. They had a Star Wars one where it came with like Ahsoka, Anakin, and you would put them in this little like portal, and they would pop out in the world, and it would also give you this sort of like a different world every time, right? Depending on what platform you'd put on. Look it up real quick, so you can see what I'm
Sure.
talking about. Because I don't want to. It's called Disney Infinity.
Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
Disney. Sorry,
No, you're fine.
just
Take
wanted
your
to-
time.
I just wanted to shout out this guy real quick. Watching the stream. 8-Bit Press. Hello from 8-Bit Press World, dude.
Wow,
How you doing,
hey, that's crazy. Okay, I'm so glad that he came in. This is 8-Bit Press, friend of the cast, of course. Actually, friend of the cast, 8-Bit Press here. He knows what I'm talking about. Disney Infinity. So Disney Infinity housed all these like sort of like toys. Me and him actually have a collection of these little toys. Some of them, but basically you would.
I do like that style.
You would put these little worlds, you would put these little characters, and they would pop out into the world, and or whatever the pack you would have would take you to their world
place
or whatever.
it down, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Like an amiibo.
And, yeah. So I have a few of these. I have a Kylo Ren and I have a Spider-Man and something else, but I think I have a Hawkeye
I have
as
a
well.
Sully somewhere. I think I might.
Po-
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Possibly. So I'm thinking they're trying to recreate this within Fortnite.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean that all the physical media is there, right? Like all they have to do is incorporate it. So
Yeah,
good.
exactly. All they have to do is basically incorporate it. Because right now, Fortnite does have toys. It has a few things like Nerf guns, all that kind of cool stuff. But
And it kind of fits
eventually
within
they can-
the style, sort of.
yeah, so they can
Fortnite style?
probably do something like that. I really wanted that Lone Ranger one. You see the one on top right?
Oh, this guy.
I really
Uh,
wanted that one when it came. That's Army Hammer, dude. But
Yeah,
obviously
dude.
Little Army Hammer.
That's
But I
funny
always
that
wanted that one.
that'd be collectors now. I don't know if they would bring
Probably
home
now. I have
Ollie
a
the
bunch of
Abominable,
these, dude. Yeah.
Abominable Snowman.
They're pretty neat. Like they're really cute and they're really well made. Little toys, little figurines. So yeah, that's my speculation. I have some great speculations for this Disney stuff, don't I, Jace?
You do, dude. And I think 8-bit is a he's a Fortnite fan as well. So
He is a Fortnite fan.
will you be playing this 8-bit if they do this in the Disney world? Like, would you be down? Are you gonna explore this world? Because it's coming. It's coming. Any other thoughts for? Oh no, for the announcements for the Fortnite. So we had the Taylor Swift, we had the Moana. Dude, what do you think of the Moana trailer? Like they dropped that little teaser.
I don't even. What was it? I saw like it was like
Oh, you didn't
nothing.
see it?
It was just
was
her
just-
legs. No, I mean I saw
It
it,
was
but I'm
just
like, what
it was
was
just
it?
a teaser, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know,
I
it
will
was-
explore. He says. Oh, nice. He will explore.
Nice. Yeah, I just remember
Okay.
seeing it and being like is like they could have just easily put a poster and I would have been fine. I did want to mention this because they like nowhere do we know if it's gonna be the original cast. Last they spoke to the actress
right-
who played Moana. What was
Oh,
that?
really?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say Lin-Manuel Miranda's not gonna be there, so he
Yeah.
did most of the songs. So
Mhm.
who knows about the songs? But the cast was not confirmed. I'm surprised.
Not that I saw, yeah, because I didn't see anything on there.
Because at the end you hear the Rock who goes yo or whatever.
But
so I
yeah,
was
but-
assuming it was him.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is The Rock tweeted it out or whatever, or yeah, he tweeted it out, so I know for sure he's gonna be in there. Whether Uali Krabaho is her name, the one that plays Moana. I might be mistaken if I said that wrong. I apologize, but she could have recorded this audio before, because again, like this is supposed to be a show a while ago, so this could have been done a while ago, and now they're bringing it out, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? That's usually
Right.
sometimes how Hollywood works. So it could possibly be that this is old recording and it is gonna be her. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. But I feel like I'm worried that two things. I'm worried that the animation is not going to be the same quality. It looks good in these shots, but doesn't it look a little bit like made for TV? A little bit. Like I feel
It kind of
might
looks
be the
like
quality.
Leroy and Stitch, sort of.
Right. Which remember, like when we were growing up, like when a sequel dropped for like Aladdin, right? They had Aladdin: Return of Jafar. The quality you could tell it was not the
Yeah,
same
you could
level.
definitely tell the colors were different. The characters weren't all the same. I just actually funny thing, I watched Return of Jafar because you said you like that movie a lot,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, dude, this movie is not good. I was like, I hated it. I hated every
don't know why I
moment
like
of
that
watching that movie. No, you're fine. I mean,
every moment.
I just disliked every moment of that movie. I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch this, but I'm gonna finish it for front of the cast. Jace here. And it
Dude.
was not a good movie, dude. I was
Oh
like,
my
dude, this
gosh.
is not. Don't get me wrong. Maybe I know some people like it. It's not a terrible movie. It's got its moments, but
It's a made for VHS movie.
yeah,
for
for sure, dude. Yeah, I think.
But you know why I like it is because
Go
when
on,
I
tell
was
me.
growing up, I watched the animated cartoons. Right, I think it was next to like whatever the Disney lineup. When you come home from school, there was I think it was like Bonkers and like Tailspin and like Darkwing Duck and like all those ones. I think eventually they had an Aladdin, and then I think they had like I don't know, a bunch of them came out, but I was such a fan of Aladdin growing up that I was like, I have to watch the series. It was okay, but I remember watching it. I think I watched the whole thing. So.
It's so funny, bro. Yeah,
Return
no,
of
I
Jafar
just
is a
I
soft
couldn't.
spot.
Yeah,
You're like,
I couldn't enjoy it. No, it was. I mean, it was just. I put it on and I'm like, what am I getting
It's
myself
written
into? And
for
then like
kids,
I
right?
think it's right. I know definitely because my daughter enjoyed it, but there was this moment where we finally get the genie, right? He comes in and he does a little song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like thank the maker for Robin Williams when we had him. You know what I mean? Like, because like
Oh,
you
yeah.
could tell this was not as good. Like the music just didn't hit.
He did it right. Didn't he do the music for that one? I think he didn't. He didn't do the voice in the third one, but in
No, he doesn't do
Return
the
of
he doesn't
Jafar.
do the voice for that one. If he did, it doesn't sound like Robin Williams whatsoever.
Oh, really? Okay, it must have been
No,
the third one he
no.
came back for.
Really?
'Cause-
Okay.
there was one straight to video. It was like, Robin Williams is back, and I was like,
Oh, really? Oh, well,
yeah,
no way. Okay, then I gotta watch that.
Jafar's disguise.
What?
Just looking at the thumbnail says the return of Jafar's disguise.
Jafar's
Jasmine for a second.
Okay, so yeah, Genie is Dan Castellana, Netta or whatever.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't there for the second one, but then he came back for like the last one or something.
Yeah, but I know Gilbert Gottfried is still definitely Iago.
Oh yeah, I think it would be hard to replicate his voice.
Iago.
Yeah, he's got such a classic voice.
Yeah, he does. He's what they gotta do. But I know Jason Alexander's in it for sure because there's a guy that basically, opens them up or whatever, or not opens them up, frees Jafar, and I'm like, dude, that sounds like Jason Alexander.
I think it's King of Thieves. I think Robin.
Check King of Thieves. Let's see if you're right.
Maybe.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he comes back for King of Thieves. And it's you can notice the difference.
Okay,
too.
let me tell you something. I was about to say this. I've seen this movie and I actually like this one.
With the dad when he
with the dad. He meets the dad. Yeah, all of a sudden he has a dad, huh?
So you just didn't like because Robin Williams wasn't in it. That's not.
Yeah, probably. It's kind of like no, but see, okay, like there's a Hotel Transylvania transphobia, something
the
like
most
that.
recent one without Adam Sandler.
That sounds like that doesn't sound right. Transphobia is like when you're against trans people, right? No, it's transformia or something like that.
Transylvania. Hotel Transylvania, Transformania.
Oh man, I was way off. I whatever. So that movie, that's not Adam Sandler in that movie.
No, somebody else.
And it sucks because like it's like basically a terrible. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like they do a terrible job of trying to be Adam Sandler. You know what I mean? And like you could tell. And I was like, man,
what's his character's name? Brian
Dracula.
Hull does the voice. Poor Brian Hull didn't do it.
Yeah, he you could tell he goes, it's like if I were to try to do Adam Sandler, he's like, hello, Mavis. Like that's how it sounds, and it sounds like someone's trying to copy the voice, and it just doesn't sound as sweet. But it's still a good movie. I still like that movie a lot. It's still a good movie.
It's good, but it just not having the same voice, it just diminishes it for some reason. And I think 8-Bit over here agrees. He's like, yeah, I hated it. He hated it. Look at this guy.
Yeah, you see, he knows.
Just come on the cast, bro. We need you on the cast. Friend of the cast. All right, we gotta move on. I think.
Please move.
We'll linger too long. So those were the announcements. Oh, Alien 3 also got announced. Or I'm sorry, Alien Romulus got announced.
Ramadama Ding Dong.
Which, again, it's another sequel. I'm curious. There's also the ESPN future of Disney, like they were talking about what's going to happen with streaming. But yeah, I think overall, it's okay. It was an okay announcement. I feel like what they announced was getting people excited, especially a lot of people like Moana. The thing I'm worried about is like for all these sequels, bro, like if say Moana comes out and it feels like Return of Jafar felt like to you, yeah, I don't think people are going to go watch these sequels because they're going to be like, the quality's not there, right? They have to start delivering on the quality, I think. The storytelling needs to be there. I don't know what they're going to do for Toy Story 5, bro. Like, they've explored so much that it feels unnecessary. I don't know.
I know, but like they'd surprise me with Toy Story 4. Like, yeah, like watching that movie again recently, I was like, oh, damn, they did it. Like, I can't believe that they brought that.
They did it.
Like they brought like a different story and it worked. Like it just worked. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like the little dumb Ford for Bonnie, and it hits. It still hit me, dude, in the feels. Like I was like, man, they got like this. Like they know what they're doing here. So I have a pretty high expectation for them to do something really well. Potato head.
Potato head.
Dude, I want to move on to this, dude. I've been meaning to talk to you about this because
let's go.
I mean, we're talking Star Wars. We're talking Disney. I apologize. And I know we were also talking about Star Wars. Did you hear about Donald Glover's return to the Star Wars universe as Lando? That apparently he wants to come back and he's going to reprise his role. And I think they're working on it. But the cool thing about this is that apparently he's going to be able to sort of have his own unique perspective on the character. Like he's not going to be tied down by Disney or anything. He's going to be able to do what he
has
wants to
creative
do.
liberty, right? Like
Creative
he's
liberty,
gonna,
exactly. Thank you. What are your thoughts on
yeah.
that, dude? Do you like that? Do you feel like maybe we should leave Lando behind with the robot that dies at the end?
I mean, I really liked his portrayal of the character. I am liking him in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I started watching that one. He's doing a great job on that one. It's interesting. I've only gotten a couple episodes into it. I think it could be good if he has a good story. Again, like if he's got something up his sleeve that he's like, I really want to do this with this character. I think it'd be really cool. I think he is a Star Wars fan. I think that's why he kind of wanted to be Lando to begin with. You know, it could work. I don't know. What are your thoughts? You excited for it?
I mean, I'm excited. I like Donald Glover, and I'm curious to see what he brings to the universe of Star Wars. I don't know what more they can tell in terms of Lando's story. I think that's what it's more enticing to me because I feel like they could ruin the character. I mean, I like the movie.
That's the thing I'm worried about, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
It's just
but
like-
again, like, go ahead.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me like 3 or 4 times.
That's the thing, though. Like, I like the movie Solo. I just think it suffered from a lot of things, and I think it could have been done a lot better. But there's
Yeah,
some
I
standout
agree.
characters. Like, I mean, honestly, Donald Glover stood out, and you're like, man, I kind of want to see what he's about, but also like, like we don't know what they could add to this character, and like I said, it could ruin it. But also, we have the original. It's not like we're gonna lose that. It's not like he's gonna make this movie and be like, oh, now I hate freaking Lando because of Donald Glover's version of it. You know what I mean? It's just so I'm more curious than anything just to see what what like him as a creator does with it because he has his own perspective on filming and stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen Guava Island, stuff like that he's done.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Did you read this where they were are asking him to like why he almost didn't do the Lando movie? Like he was going to turn it down initially, and he said, you know, it's because his children have like loved the world and like you know, they're Star Wars fans. But I thought it was interesting that he says at this point I just know when something's going to be good because you're not because you're really fighting the industry when you're putting your imprint on the franchise. And I think like he's feeling it too, right? Like he's like give the directors and the writers the power to make a good story. Like stop getting involved, right? I think he has that similar thought where it feels like there's too much strings being pulled in the background to like make it fit with a certain narrative, and like I'm excited for it. Like I feel like it could be cool if he has a good story, right? It all depends on the story, but. I am like I'm on the same boat where I still love the idea of Star Wars. Like I still feel like a lot of people genuinely love Star Wars as far as like what the world has been built with you know George Lucas. I think it just right now we're in such a dry spell of like good storytelling. Like it's just been very meh. It's just like super meh. Like the last. I mean, hopefully they can right the ship. Do you think that they should just in a way kind of like cut their losses and start over, or do you think that this Rey movie could possibly turn it around, or
I
I feel like they need to
honestly
take a
don't
break.
know. I honestly don't know what the Ray movie can accomplish in terms of like setting up like more, unless she like moves on from the Skywalkers. And as we know, at the end of
She's not moving
Rise
on
of
from it.
Skywalkers, she's not moving on. She is a Skywalker, self-proclaimed, as they say. And I think that basically doesn't allow her to set up her own storyline, her own thing. It's like, well, we have to learn from the teachings of Luke or Leia, you know what I mean? And it's like, no, learn from your own force. Like let's get out of this, like the Skywalker saga. It's already done, dude. Get a new show. You know what I mean? Like
Get a new show. Yeah.
get something. You know, move like let's move away from this. Like we've already explored this. Let's like don't get me wrong. Rey could be a cool character and do more into the world, but it's like if she's gonna stay a Skywalker, that just doesn't work. Unless they like right the wrongs of those movies and they change up what she is, where she's like, I've actually now am a Palpatine and I love what I am, and I'm
Oh
not
my God.
supposed to be scared, or something. But I highly doubt it. I feel like they're gonna
There's like a
try
whole
to.
movie where she comes to term with herself. You mean like
Yeah.
like there's she's like, you know what, guys, I am a Palpatine, and it's okay. I'm not. Don't judge me by
He's
my father.
It's gonna be like Wreck-It Ralph, where he's like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not the bad guy.
Bad guy.
Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that's how it's gonna be. But see, that's the thing is like, let's say she does that, realize or whatever. Like she could expand the world for like 3 more movies and do something else in that world. Again, like you said, it's got to do something with the writing. They have to like prove that this character is worthy of basically taking the franchise to the next level, because for the most part it looks like this was a cash grab, bringing all the old freaking characters and killing them off, right? Like they brought
Yeah,
freaking
what was
Han
that?
Solo, killed Han Solo in front of Chewie. They killed Luke, second movie. They killed Leia in the third one, right? I think Leia dies in the third one, right? Oh, no,
Yeah. Well.
or is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, she dies at the
yeah,
end.
she dies
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
third one. Yeah,
She
she
does.
dies in the third one.
Yep.
They literally kill legacy characters in each one of their films, just for her to for her to pave the way to become,
Yeah, I know.
the next thing. But it's like they use nostalgia too much to try to like drag us in. I honestly believe this, Chase. I think they're gonna do these Rey Palpatine movies or whatever. She's gonna come out, and then all of a sudden Luke's gonna come back again and tell her, "Well, you see what you did. You got to do this now," or something. You know what I mean? Like a Force Ghost is gonna
Yeah.
come out. It's just
No, I don't want that. I would rather have them do like the old Republic or something. Like go either really far back in time or really forward in time. I think that'd be better. I don't know.
I don't know, but dude, talking about movies that are freaking coming
go.
and
Let's go.
and making a new world. I'm just kidding, not even making a new world. We're going off going off of that, dude. The Jurassic World franchise, dude, is set to expand with a new film scheduled for release on July 2nd, 2025. Chase, I'm not going to get into most of these things because I don't really care. I only want to know one thing.
Tell me.
How excited are you for Chris Pratt to come back?
Oh, dude, I was hoping you were gonna say how excited are you for the Fast and the Furious crossover?
Oh, I know, huh? Because it could definitely happen now. Huh?
I mean, anything's possible at this point. I don't know, bro. Do we want this? I mean, some people really do like the new.
We don't want this.
Jurassic World.
Jason,
Okay.
we don't
You
want
don't want
this.
this?
We need this.
We need this. We needed this, like the rain. I don't know, bro. Like it. I don't think I want well, so far what they've set up in the last movie, I don't think I want that. I think I want something a little bit more realistic, perhaps, or maybe more adult in a way. These were so like that whole intro of the last movie. It was just such a crazy thing that for some reason there hadn't been any sort of like people were living in harmony with the freaking pterodactyls were living on top of the buildings, and I was like, there should be mass mayhem. There should be bodies on the streets. Everyone should be running in terror. The dinosaurs should be taking over, or at least they should all be round up and like, made into some sort of weapons. Like how was that Dino Wars or Beast Wars or whatever they do? Where I started like controlling them with chips on their heads and like something sci-fi like that. But the way they ended the last one, it was so odd, bro. It was such an odd movie. There is story to tell for sure. Like there is potential for cool story, but they need to kind of like steer it in a different direction. I think the way they did it in the last one, where it was like this isolated area where they had built a new park or a new like lab where they're experimenting with other ones. It's like, what was the point? They just set up a bunch of stuff and then I didn't go anywhere. I don't know. What are your thoughts, bro? Are you excited? Fast and the Furious, dude. I'm telling you, that's where they need to go.
I don't know, man. Personally, for me, I like the Jurassic movies. Like, I think the second Jurassic World, whatever the second one was, not Fallen Kingdom, was it? I forget
Yeah,
what the
Fallen
Jurassic.
Kingdom.
I kind of want to look it up because there's like all kinds of them, but I thought the second one in that
Or
franchise was
Dominion.
Dominion. I don't think Dominion was a good film, but 1 and 3 were pretty decent. I mean, like you said, it ends a certain way. I mean, this movie's supposed to expand the universe. I'm not sure what they could do next because obviously they kind of went with what you said, trying to modify these creatures and make them weaponized and all that. I think the sci-fi aspect is reaching. I don't think they could do something like that and like be looked at as a serious movie. The interesting thing is, I feel like Jurassic Park has become more of an action thriller than a horror film. I feel like the Spielberg ones, the first ones felt a little bit more horrific, like in terms of like it was a lot scarier, right? Like the moment to moment scenes where like the kids are being chased by the raptors, I believe. And they're in the kitchen or whatever. It like made you feel uneasy, and then there's a really great scare with, he's like tapping the window, like I don't know if you recall that.
Yeah.
But there's some great moments, and like they steered away from that a lot in the other films. It's like they're living with them now, and it's like Chris Pratt puts his hand out and doesn't and like he controls these vicious creatures. It's like it's ridiculous a little bit more so than it was before. I feel like it's lost that like not what's that? Not realism, because obviously it's not real, but like where you're
it's believability,
believability, exactly, like that believability of these films have kind of like dwindled with time, and I'm curious to see, because this guy's like David Leitch, if I'm not mistaken, he just did Bullet Train, and that movie was a little bit, not like crazy far fetched, but it was a little over the top, and I'm curious if he's gonna add that sort of sensibility to these films, where like that humor, that
Yeah. What actually I was excited for was this, dude. Did you see the trailer for the survival game that's coming out?
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
This one looks like this would be a cool story, right? Like somebody that was working in the park that got left behind or something. Like this is a great premise for going back to that original world, and you could totally play up the scary vibe, right? Like cuz you're by yourself and like lost all communication. I don't know. I really like this trailer. I thought they did a good job. I would even go so far as to play it. Was this filmed or is this all computer? Because I thought, dude, this is Unreal Engine right here, bro. This is what we have to look forward to.
I don't even know in the Disney universe, but no, yeah, like that's the thing, is that feeling. Moments. Yeah, it's that uneasy feeling that you get in these movies. Like they're just well directed and written at the time. Obviously, they used the book, but most of the stuff is like not like this anymore that I could recall. Like I don't remember coming out of that movie and being like, man, that was creepy. That was like really cool. Like it just kind of like feels like they're more.
This would be creepy, right? Like imagine running through the jungle, not knowing where. They almost did that in the last one, right? In the Dominion, where they landed in that whatever that was, it like a conservatorium, whatever they were experimenting on the animals. They almost did that for a bit because they were wandering around, and then they see that big Dominus Rex or whatever. But then it goes right back to they didn't hold the suspense. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, dude, I kind of want to play this game. I kind of want to play it. This looks pretty cool. Oh, see, look at that. That's what we want. One thing I was gonna say about nostalgia, I heard a really good argument. I was like listening to a podcast, and people were saying the reason why nostalgia works, at least for us back in the days, because I think we had higher quality of things back in the early, I don't know, we grew up in the 90s or the early 80s. I think the quality was higher, and the reason why we love nostalgia is because it's us trying to go back to that era, because we know it was better, right? So like we're trying to get back to that.
But is it because that's the thing? Was it that great?
I think it was, bro.
No, but see, that's the thing. To us, it is. But like, let's say you talk to like front of the cast, Ava Press here and his son, and he might love some of the newer stuff. Like he might love Jurassic World.
He didn't grow up on the good stuff, though.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I mean. I'm not saying he's got like his taste is like bad in any way. No. Like Amelia has growing up with the taste of this generation, what's going on now. My daughter, right?
True.
And so her perspective is going to be like, oh, well, freaking the movie Wish was amazing. But it's like, no, like Little Mermaid is far superior than that. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like when we talk about Star Wars, right? I think Freddie Prinze Jr. or whatever, I think you were talking about him one time, and he was talking about that Star Wars isn't for you anymore or whatever. And it's true, right? Like Star Wars when we were kids, that was like, for me, was what was it called? Attack of the Clones,
Wars and
Revenge of the Sith. What was the first one again? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name?
I was gonna say the Force
Oh,
Awakens,
Phantom
but it
Menace.
was
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace, yeah.
Wow, I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Wow, you almost lost your card, bro.
I know.
Your Star
I know.
Wars
I
card.
would have. I know that would have been bad. But like those movies were for me when I was a kid, and I remember loving them and being like, "Wow, that's way the best thing." But also like, I was raised with like the other ones when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But those were made for me. You know what I mean? Like it's like the older you get, the more you're gonna realize, well, this is not made for me anymore. That's why I always say that, and it sounds like I'm being ridiculous when I say it, but it's like this isn't made for us anymore. This is for the new generation, like the TikTok kids, the ones that don't have a lot of like that don't have a lot of what's it called? Like they can't sit through an hour movie. They have to only watch 10 seconds of a video to get to know if it's good now. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things need to be on screen to really engage the youth. I want to say like it isn't the same anymore.
I mean, yeah, the attention span has definitely changed, but I feel like storytelling is dropped a little bit, right? I feel like people are not as invested ever since like the Harry Potter series, right? The Harry Potter series was that generation's Star Wars in a way, right? Because it was told well. I thought it was good storytelling, and it led up to a solid climax. I feel like there are certain like franchises that really stick depending on your generation, and this one, it's like what is it? Is it Hunger Games? Like, are they? I don't know what it is. Because we obviously don't have Marvel anymore. Like that whole run of Marvel's gone. So I don't know. What's the next generation's version of Star Wars? I think
Madam Web.
I think, dude, are you excited for Madam Web?
Dude, I already got my tickets. You said the other day you messaged me on Twitter. You're like, look at they're having an early show of Dune 2. And I was like, where's the early showing of Madam Web? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm interested in.
Did you hear when they Madam Web, Dakota Johnson they were saying, like, did you hear about all the backlash from
that
one line in the trailer? She's like, what?
She's like, that's dumb or something like very like.
She's like, that sounds like a normal plot to a movie to me.
I know, yeah. Dude, she does not care what people.
What did you see? Did you see when she talked about how she agrees, dude? The industry, right? She had this whole comment about industry, and she's disheartened by it. I personally think I want to hear if there's anybody else in the chat that feels like it's not up to par as what it used to be in the 90s. I feel like people are realizing this. I think she's kind of has that same sentiment. She's like, people are afraid. I think it goes back to what we were talking about in the last Airbender, right? Like they're afraid to do these stories that have flawed characters that will grow over time, right? I think the similar type of thing. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's sound off in the comments. Oh, we got a fan. Mia says, "What's up? What's up, Mia? How you guys doing?"
Hello.
They didn't use the comics to create the story. Oh, that's true, right? A lot of these comics, they're not focusing on the actual comics. They're just trying to come up with a new, fresh take. Okay, I wanted to get into this last one. Probably a quick one, but there are rumors circling that Pirates of the Caribbean 6 is going to start, and it's going to be Johnny Depp is not going to be in it. Supposedly, we're going to be replaced with the Ayo Edebiri. She's the girl from what's the chef? Oh, the Bear series. I don't know if you guys watched The Bear. I thought it was great. She does a great job in The Bear. But what do you guys think of Johnny Depp not returning for this new one? I was recently watching the second. What's the second one? The Dead Man's Chest, I think.
I believe so. Yeah, she's the governor's
the-
daughter.
Yeah.
What about
yeah.
it? Yeah.
I need your compass, Jack. And he's like,
Dude, I've been thinking
Unity.
about watching. I've been really wanting to watch those movies, but I can't put them on for whatever reason, dude. I'm like, I should just put it on. I should just put it
just
on.
put it on, dude. It's so good.
And then my wife will be like, nah, I don't want to see that. And I'm like, but Johnny Depp, he's a pirate.
So, Ayo Edebiri is rumored to be replacing Johnny Depp in the next installment of Pirates of the Caribbean, but nothing is confirmed at the moment. But apparently, it was thanks to Elon Musk. I guess he's the one that that broke the news. Will she star alongside Margot Robbie? Because yeah, that was a rumor a while back, right? That Margot Robbie was going to be a pirate in one of these. But here's the tweet that supposedly started the rumor. And then, Daniel Rickman was, I guess, credited as well. He's like, credit would be nice. But I don't think you have a Pirates series without Johnny Depp. Am I wrong? Like, I feel like he is the Pirates series. Like, a spinoff would not be. It wouldn't be Pirates then.
No, it'd be its own thing. I mean, they could always. I mean, the way the last one ends, sort of like ends with like up in the air, right? It's not like it's done and over with. But I feel like if they're gonna keep continuing, like this is not gonna be Pirates. What pirate are we on? One. We're on six. So it'll be 6 if this one comes out. This should not be Pirate 6. It should be like its own thing. Like let's get away from Johnny Depp. Like I have a feeling they're gonna try to bring all these characters back, freaking Barbosa and all these people and all that. It's just that's when it's a cash grab. But it's like, let's get away from that. Like let's go do something else with the universe. Like I could see that. Who knows if it's gonna be as good? Like you said, the character of Captain Jack, played by Johnny Depp, like sells the world, right? Like the world is cool, but like the character is what makes the world better. You know what I mean?
And it's funny because it almost was the trio, right? It almost was Johnny Depp, Keira Knightley, and then Orlando Bloom. Like those three, it almost was. And then Keira Knightley kind of went off and did her. She wasn't in like the third one. Or wait, no, she wasn't in the fourth one. Orlando Bloom disappeared because he was like on the ship, right? He had to like fulfill the mission of the ship where he had to be off for like, I don't know. It almost was the trio, and then that fourth and fifth movie, it was just Johnny Depp. So now it is like literally he is the franchise. Like I feel like if we're gonna do something else, like do a new spinoff of like Tortuga or something. Like I still think it would be kind of cool if they had integrated the Little Mermaid. Now that I've seen the Little Mermaid, I don't agree, but at the time I thought it would have been cool if they kind of had her in the world. The new, I don't know, bro. I know they have to keep pushing the franchise to like keep the rights and everything, but I don't know. Why don't they bring Johnny Depp back?
I mean, well, I don't think he'll come back. No, it's not the controversy. I think Johnny Depp probably chooses not to work with them. I think after what happened with Amber Heard, he had stated like, I'm only going to stay with the people who continue to work with me during these times. And I think it was the perfume. That's why he's always on those ads where it's like he's playing guitar or whatever, and it's like a perfume. I don't know what it is, a cologne, but whatever. But that's why he stayed with them, because they still worked with him. Whether he goes back to Disney, I mean, it could be a fat check that could bring him back. But I mean, if they're getting this girl, I haven't watched The Bear fully, and I heard she's a really great actor in that show. But I guess we're just basing this off nostalgia. Like, what if they bring her back and then they bring Johnny Depp in the second one, and he gives her the baton, and he gives him the baton. Like, would you like that?
And he's like washed up. He's like a washed up retiree with like he's divorced and his son died. And
he's like a hermit. Okay, I got one. He's a hermit. He comes back. She gives him the black pearl in his hands in that bottle. You know, when it's all small. He grabs it, looks at it, and tosses it.
And he tosses it over.
You like that? Luke Skywalker, dude.
And then she stabs him with the sword through the chest, and he falls off the cliff. Oh
my gosh!
They better not. I don't know, dude. I say come up with a new. Something new.
I'm gonna say this like our mother-in-law. You better not.
You better not. That's right. Yeah, man. I agree. Oh, we had a couple trailers that dropped that I don't think we can play the audio. I think it's still but I want to get your thoughts before we wrap it up.
Can I
Did you
sing over the audio?
You could, bro. You could. What about
I just
do it to the quiet place, bro.
Oh
new Quiet
my
Place trailer.
gosh, dude! I was gonna show. I was gonna show
This is
you.
random.
Look at Florence Pugh cooks garlic crostinis.
Oh, I know, dude.
I'd rather watch that, dude.
You would. That's a whole nother show, bro. That's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show. It's just her. Look at that. Okay, you go back real quick. I'm sorry. I just go back. I want you to do this. I want you to do this with our YouTube video. Go down. Look at that lady.
These
Go
little
down. No, down. That lady. The reaction of beyond the trailer. That lady, mouth open,
this
dude, ready.
She's like, that's what we need, bro.
It shocked her that much.
She's like, oh my gosh,
That is so awesome. I saw this like thing up.
Even the one with the Pito Nwango right here. She's just like with her hands over her mouth, like.
Yeah. This is so sweet, dude. I was against it for a while, but now I feel like I need my mouth open for everything we watch.
Do it. Do it.
Oh man.
I like the trailer. I did.
Oh, I thought you said I like when people have their mouth opened.
I like when people have their mouths open. I mean, it does work. I do click on things when they have a certain reaction to it. I'm just like, oh.
What's so funny that you say that? I heard that the complete opposite. They did an algorithm check for YouTube, and that doesn't help. They did that.
I'm the
doesn't
only
help
one,
them.
I guess.
You're probably the only person who so when you see when you see someone in a trailer and they're going like this grumpy face, and you're like, wow, they're grumpy about that one. I need to watch the.
They're like, I need to know why he's grumpy.
Why is he grumpy?
That's funny. You know, when I showed my wife this trailer, the first thing she said, she saw John Krasinski, and then she said, "Is this a continuation?" And I was like, "Just watch the trailer," because they do the whole number thing. And she's like, "Well, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna go forward?" I'm like, "Just watch." It's like, see, the numbers are counting up. She didn't have the patience. She wanted to know before the trailer even started. Like, oh, okay, now we're going back in time. Okay, now I get it. That's funny, bro. Whoa, this is really pixely. I apologize. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the trailer, bro?
I mean, it say again.
No, go ahead.
It looks really cool. I mean, I like these movies, but I don't want these movies anymore. Like, I kind of want John Krasinski to do something else. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like he could use his like skills to do a different movie. Don't get me wrong, this is going to be probably really great. I really like the first two that have come out, and this is definitely something I'm looking forward to seeing. But my first reaction was like, man, let's do something new. Let's stop making sequels. Or prequels. Let's go do something else. Like, let's go do something else. Like, it excites me because, like, obviously if they're giving them this money to do all these cool things, it kind of gives you that feeling that, okay, well, he's doing really well. They're probably going to give him the reins to do something for his own self, like a passion project that he's been wanting to work on.
He's going to do...
Well, this is the passion project, right?
No, the passion project is the Imaginary Friends, the trailer for the Imaginary Friends.
That's
he
right.
wrote that one.
That's right. You're right.
So I think that's his passion project.
That is, yeah.
This one, I'm with you, bro. I like the first two movies. I think he has such a knack for like creeping you out. Like even the second one, I know it was like you already knew what the monster looked like, right? So you kind of like anticipated it, but he still was managing to bring out a lot of like tension in those films. And I think this one too, like even the trailer, there's some parts where you do jump. You're like, oh my gosh, like what? You know, he just has a good eye for these type of
storytelling. Because there's like every time I've gone out of these movies after seeing Quiet Place 1 and 2, and even watching them at home, for whatever reason, Jason, I start being really quiet. I'm a loud guy, dude. I'm loud, and I like for whatever reason I'm like,
you're listening.
Let's keep it down. You know what I mean?
That means he did a good job, right?
No, yeah, he does a great job, dude. I freaking love these movies. They're great movies. I just really want him to do something else, like something else. I hope this is the last one. But then he's gonna
Yeah, it
go-
probably will be.
It's gonna be like a prequel to the prequel. What happened before this? But don't get me wrong, this is gonna be awesome. I like Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o's character. What's that guy's name, dude? That always comes out. Freaking
Who?
Digimon, digital monster.
Oh, you had it in my brain and it went away.
It's
you're gonna have to look it
Digimon.
up.
Yeah, it's
Digimon?
Digimon. Yeah.
Um,
But I don't know his last
was
name.
it? I was gonna say the cool thing about this one, this third trailer or this third movie, I think he has the biggest budget. Like this is the biggest in scope, I think. And I think as a director, like when you're coming up with that initial story, he had to really tighten up the budget because he didn't have a lot of money for those effects shots. This one, he has all the money. Like he can make all the effect shots. So I think he's gonna be able to just have crazy sequences with like giant set pieces, and I think it's gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm excited for If too. The second trailer I think dropped, or it was like a teaser, because there's a lot of Super Bowl trailers coming out right now. And,
Yeah.
it got me excited for it. I'm curious. Did you see what happened in the latest little tease where he's sitting down with Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds didn't realize he was Asian, dude? It was like, have you seen this? You haven't seen it?
No.
You watched The Office, right? You've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
the
yeah.
Office
Oh
episode
yeah,
where
yeah.
They tricked Dwight into believing that
Into
he's
believing
Asian.
that he's Asian. Yeah.
They do the same thing to Ryan Reynolds, like the same. What's his name? He was just an Aquaman, and he's. I love that guy, but I can't remember his name right now.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I know he
Help
comes
us
out
out,
in. Dude, what he comes out in a show called
Randall Park.
Fresh
Isn't
Off
his
the
name?
Boat.
Ra-
Yeah, Randall Park. He comes out fresh off the boat.
Yeah, Randall Park, dude. He does the same. I should just look it up. It's if
Randall Park.
imaginary
Right?
friend. Imaginary friend.
That's hilarious, dude. If you haven't watched Fresh Off the Boat, dude, Constance Wu comes out in that show too. It's a really good show. It's funny.
Randall Park. Oh, there we go. I just love that they're continuing that same joke of it's like a whole behind the scenes. Like they have shots of him like actually directing, just like John Krasinski would do, just totally selling it. I was trying to explain it to my wife. She's just like, I don't watch The Office like you do. And I was like,
No, but that's such a great moment of The Office too.
yeah, that's one of my favorite moments.
John Krasinski. I didn't see this.
And he's like, what
This
do you
is
mean?
so awesome.
He's like, we
Oh my
spent
gosh.
3 months together filming this. And he's like, no, you're Randall Park. He's like, no. Oh, it's fun.
That's
You guys will
hilarious,
get
dude. I
to
love that. But yeah, dude, as I guess we've come to the ending of this.
Come to the end.
We've
All
come
good
to the
things must
end. Oh, I love that. That's a good one. I didn't think of that one. But as always, I would like to thank the friends of the cast. Thank you for tuning in every week when we drop an episode and coming into our live streams. We appreciate you coming in and talking movies, television, and what's new in the world of
What's
entertainment.
streaming?
You like that one, Jace. I was copying
I
you,
like
but
it.
I shouldn't have because you do it a lot better than I do. Jason, please don't forget the outro music because I want to hear it. I'm just kidding.
I don't have the outro music set up.
It's all right. I'll sing it for you.
All right.
Did you say you'll do it yourself? I'll start doing it right now. Go. Send everyone out and.
Yeah. All right. Okay,
Yeah,
guys. I just
okay.
want to say thank you guys for
I lost my voice. I'm sorry. Did you hear it?
Like a kid just learning to play the.
Yeah. Did you hear
It's
my
like a
voice? I
little
went.
screechy violin. Like,
I was
oh my goodness, we have fun. Thank you guys for joining us. I know McFly popped in there a couple times. 8-bit Mia. I'm sorry, I said your name wrong. I apologize. But if you guys want to be on the cast, we should have you on. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to have a good time. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Goodbye.
I can't believe I messed up your name. I apologize. We'll see you guys in Fortnite.
Jump into the Disneyverse.
In the Disneyverse.
Yeah. Oh, damn, again. You heard that? This song.
Cracked it again, dude.
I don't like this anymore, dude. I'm going through puberty.